Hello, this is Stockton Junction. This is part one of the river build. As you can see, I've cut out the river, started putting plaster in. The river comes to here where the waterfall is, but I've decided that it's firstly not wide enough, and I'd like to make it a bit wider and also a bit deeper to add a bit more of a scenic element. So what I've started to do is I've started to cut out to make the river a bit wider along the back here. So I shall continue to cut out the new wider section, and then I'll show you as it's progressing shortly. So if you can join me in a second, and things should have changed a bit. So we're back now. As you can see, I've cut that a lot wider, made it a bit deeper as well. And one thing I have paid a bit of attention to here, on the corners there where the water would be flowing this way, these corners wouldn't be so eroded, whereas these corners on the outer corners would be more eroded. So I've sort of made a bit more effort of cutting them back a bit more, and that just to give that more of that eroded sense. I've also just literally received in the mail today the starting of what's going to be the bridge here, and what I've bought is this wheels kit here. These not going to use, those I will. And what I'm doing, making a bit of conversion here. I've already built the side bits and test fitted, so they're going to sit. Just fit those in quickly in there like so. So obviously cutting that deeper was quite imperative for having clearance underneath for the water. And then what I'm going to do is I'll take these off. I've cut out a piece of 1mm plastic card. I'm going to glue these onto here like so. I've also cut out, using the same piece of plastic, but obviously cut it a bit shorter, these little pieces here. Once these are glued on the ends, I will put those just over the edges just to strengthen them. So then what we'll be getting at is this like that. I've also cut some plastic card strut stuff and beveled the ends, which I'm going to glue in the central areas just to strengthen the 1mm plastic card, so it won't bend in the when it's in place. So that will be my farm tractor sort of crossing bridge, which is the sort of thing you would probably see at that sort of place. In fact, I've seen very similar on farms, and obviously I'll still use the railings like so. So it'll look pretty much like that, but the point is you can then adapt it to be at the width of road you want. And so here is the bridge after I've glued it all together. As you can see, put the strengtheners in on the edges and in the middle. I've now put the railings on, and that is what we get. This will, obviously I need to cut out a little section yet, but that will fit in there like so, and I'll show you the rest as I progress with it. I've got to paint it next. So come back to you now. The bridge has been fully weathered, which looks quite good, I think. I've put in the plaster into the riverbed and the sides, and while the plaster was still wet, I've added stones, small bits of stone and some light small gravel. That's the next stage of the river. I shall be painting that soon, and I shall do another video on that as soon as the paint arrives, which I'm still waiting for. So that's the river scene area there. As we come across, I've started to do a bit more sculpting over the back. I've got it coming down a bit because there's going to be a forest in the corner, so I need a little bit more space. And I can't remember if I had this on here before, but I started to carve the roadway, etc. there. I'm also just in place at the moment, got these girder bridge parts for where the bridge will be, and the start of the canal piling wall, which I shall continue. I shall do a video on that as well very shortly, finishing that part off. And that's about it for this area at the moment. Like I said, I'm waiting for the paint, which is raw umber. I have got burnt umber, but it's a bit too reddish, so I don't really want to use burnt umber. So as soon as I get the paint, I can start painting the whole riverbed. It will be based in burnt umber, raw umber to start with, and obviously I want to paint all of the areas that are plaster with the base coat of that as well, before I start doing scenic work along the back and progress any further. So until the paint arrives, I can't do a lot. So anyway, that's the end of this video for now, and I shall be back with you with another video soon, hopefully.